Hi, I'm Brandon. I love When Calls the Heart.
Hi, I'm Jax, and I like When Calls the Heart.
I'm Dan. Everything's fine. It's fine. We're all fine. And I despise When Calls the Heart, and this is the Deck the Hallmark podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast. Brandon and friends host his podcast. We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Well, hello, everybody.
boy.
It's great to be back here today on a Thursday talking about When Calls the Heart, the season that just keeps
Happening.
going and going and changing and moving and shaking. I can't wait to talk about it with all of you. But Jax, you're here today, and it is great to see you.
From afar, but I guess we've just given up you coming to town, so whatever.
No, here's why. I don't know if you guys got the memo, but Jordan and Tyler, some of my favorite double-deckers, were in town in New York, so that's why I couldn't make it to see you guys.
Did you guys hang out?
We were just hanging out, like literally mere moments ago.
Wow.
Mere moments
I thought
ago.
about bringing them on the pod, but then it
should've.
felt like we would all be sitting on my little couch.
Yeah. Man, it's tough when Jordan and Tyler, especially we love both of them. When Tyler's a superhero. Like when he's in town, you don't I mean, come on. That guy, firefighter. I mean, come on.
He's a big man.
But you guys know what he did? He did this run this weekend. It's to honor the fallen heroes from 9/11. You run like 3.5 miles in your gear.
Yeah, that checks for him.
Wow.
None of that surprises me.
That's amazing.
Good for those two.
Yeah.
Two
It's
of the
something
best
that
people
Dan
on
and
the
I
planet.
do every weekend. We don't wait until once a year, but it's
And you don't brag about it.
we don't brag about it. We don't talk about it. Like it's not something we talk about.
We do this race.
No, this is just a regular day for this is a race.
Yeah, we do the tunnel to towers every day.
Yes, every day to work and back.
I don't like where this is. I don't like where it's going.
But
Now,
it's-
listen, there are Hardys.
But again, we don't talk about
There
it.
are Hardys listening, and they don't usually listen, but they're here because things are starting to go their way, and so I don't want them to like tune out.
You're right. You're
Because
right.
we say we do the tunnels to
I
towers
could
race
see-
every day.
I can see that it would be.
We do half of it, and
do
then we do
half of
half
it.
on the way home. You know,
So like collectively, we do the whole thing.
yes, yeah. Come on, we're not monsters.
Dan, would you still stand behind the statement that you think that things are going the way that the Hardys want them to go? I think you might be right. I'm just curious.
I think, this is great because
You're right. We'll have to.
The last two episodes, we've not pretended to go in a linear fashion here. So let's go ahead and dive into that. I don't think so.
Oh boy.
I don't think so now. I don't.
Now that it has become abundantly obvious, you're now packing bags.
No.
A fleeting glance at episode 1 is call the mayor. It's happening.
You had the fleeting glance. The scene in episode 1 is a long scene that's a high chemistry scene. Do I think that these two actors have had chemistry since season 6? Yes. This is just absurd what's happening right now. This show
gonna be cruel.
has no scruples.
Gonna be cruel.
Has no morals at all. It has no sense of, we just watched and reviewed, tomorrow it'll come out, so it's not out yet. We're doing the Fast and Furious movies.
Yes.
And Fast 9,
Very similar.
F9 is offensive because it holds no plot line that makes any sense. We can believe that a car would be thrown off a side of a cliff and you would survive. That's fine, as long as the plot makes sense. But F9, the plot doesn't make sense. When Calls the Heart, the plot no longer makes sense. We have a problem, and yes, I do think that now. Weirdly enough,
Wow.
Jax, but we'll get into it.
Wow.
I'm sure.
Well, let's get into it. Why beat around the bush? There's a lot to get to in this synopsis.
Because we got to plan a party.
So
Bran will concentrate on the 3 minutes of episode that mattered. The 39 minutes that is just a snoozer.
I have a very in-depth and detailed synopsis.
All right, go for it.
Season 10, episode 9. It's called Jax.
Shifty Elizabeth.
Ooh, no.
Ain't no mountain high.
No, it is deep water.
Deep water.
Deep water.
So all the Team Nathan people are like, that's because like the depth of their relationship is so Like, you know how some of the water's draining out? That's the Team Nathan's relationship. The water's draining away from the springs because they've diverted it. But the depth of the relationship with Nathan and Elizabeth.
The wedding is 6 weeks away, and there's so much to do. Elizabeth is feeling overwhelmed, but
Greek
knows
word for water is Nathan.
she knows it's all going to work out, though, and I do too. She and Nathan are talking about Bill's old land and decide that they should talk to Bill about this now to see, hey, what's Bernie up to? You remember when I called the guy Bernie last week? I'm going to do it again. They all agree that they should just kind of wait and see, except for Bill, who decides he's going to go spy on him. Gowan apparently built an entire park. Allie is back to babysit baby Jack so that she can go and talk to Nathan with his tight shirt and overalls on. Holy smokes. She literally cannot keep her eyes off of that man.
It's because he's playing with her kid.
Nor can I. Oh, yeah. It's because sure. Has nothing to do with what he was wearing. Look, open your eyes, man. Even you would do a double. Wow. Even you.
I don't remember that scene. I got to be honest. Normally, I'm with you on this stuff.
You don't remember him in his
scene.
tight white shirt with his friggin' suspenders
honestly,
on?
Normally, I'm 100%
Jax.
track with you.
Oh, no. It was 100% a thirst trap. And all I could think is I wish Ben Rosenbaum was wearing this.
Yeah, of course.
Jax, when is your wedding?
We already gave her a date.
Gave her a date.
Yeah, I have it. What is it? October?
No, it was June or
I thought
something.
it was September.
So we're with it.
Okay.
She talks to Rosemary and asks if it's weird Allie hanging out with Lil Jack and getting close, considering her past with Nathan. Rosemary shrugs it off.
Elizabeth shrugs it off.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. Rosemary shrugs it off. She says nothing. She's like,
no, Elizabeth says he's just a friend. No big deal.
No. Elizabeth says, do you think it's weird, Rosemary? Allie and Lil Jack getting close. And Rosemary says, no, not weird at all.
Doesn't Elizabeth also say he's just a friend?
At the end of the episode,
Okay.
she says that.
But she just says it to Rosemary, too.
She doesn't say it to Rosemary.
She doesn't?
Rosemary is
Okay.
the one in this case that is just like, no, there's nothing. No, nothing to worry about there.
She never says that.
She's like you have a pure heart.
Yeah, it's
Elizabeth.
your
Meanwhile,
heart
the
is
rest
pure.
Of us are like,
Okay.
no, she
All right.
don't.
Your heart
No,
is
she don't.
pure.
Yeah.
Ned gets a telegram that the governor is coming. The dumb choir
Tomorrow.
worked like a charm. All of the women in town decide that Frickham and May are meant to be, and I can't disagree. I think they're wonderful. Rosemary is nervous when she finds out that the governor is coming because it turns out that she has promised the governor quite a few things, such as a choir performance, that he can give his first live radio speech on the radio from Hope Valley, a new bandstand that they're going to perform an original song on in the governor's honor. Everyone's like, okay, that's a lot, but we can do that. And she's like, there's more. A black tie gala with a 7-course meal and dancing under the stars. It's an impossible feat, but we must have hope in this valley. I wrote that down.
That's good
That's
That was pretty good.
beautiful.
Thank you. The women decide to keep it hush hush, so not to freak everyone out. But Elizabeth does have to tell Lucas because he has to get the seven course meal prepared. He's less than thrilled. The tourist that they struck the deal with, do you remember him from a few weeks ago? He is back to soak in the hot springs. Bad news. The water's gone.
It's draining.
The water is just gone. There's a little bit left. Elizabeth gets a book in the mail from Jamie, the son of the woman who Bill sold the land to, and is like, hey, I had a good time in Hope Valley. Which is like, hey, I thought you were supposed to be coming back. Now you're sending this note. What's going on there? Nathan goes to check out a situation in the woods. Guns are drawn. Nathan swaps places with a hostage. Turns out that this dude is mad because he got tricked into selling his land to Bernie Frickin and May are trying to write a song about bees. It's a no-go. Luckily, apparently, some of the kids, they wrote a song. I'm sure it's going to be a banger, an absolute banger. The tourist apparently works for the governor. He is there ahead of time to make sure everything is good to go. Tells Lucas that, one, the governor's actually coming in just a few hours, and two, he wants to meet with Lucas. Wonder what that's going to be about. Rosemary starts to be okay with everything not being perfect for the governor, but that doesn't stop Gowan from getting his team of children together to build a stage. Some dude shoots at Nathan, and the old dude gets away. They get him back, don't worry. But word spreads that Nathan has been taken hostage, and Elizabeth starts to freak the F out.
But it never does spread.
Luckily, it spreads to her. Luckily, Gowan is there to calm her down mid-panic attack. She says, quote, "I can't do this again. Not again," end quote. Just then, someone yells, "Nathan's back." When they make eye contact, Elizabeth smiles as Gowan watches from afar with a knowing or jealous glance. There's no time to dwell, though. The governor is arriving. They sing a song for the governor. The governor is freaking pumped about this jam. It is indeed a banger. Nathan and Bill get the important people in town together to talk about what Bernie is up to. He's stealing the water and sending it up to Union City. They all agree to keep it hush-hush. Lots of hush-hush in this episode. Elizabeth rides her horse to clear her head.
Did you say horse?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
When she comes back, Gowan catches up with her and breaks his rule about not giving unsolicited advice. Here's the advice.
I'm Team Gustav, if you were asking.
I was wondering. Thank you.
Boy.
Very interesting. What does
chemistry.
Gustav look like?
Oh, he's a good-looking dude.
Yes.
Got one of those mustaches you can spin like I do.
Yes, he
you know what I'm
does.
talking about?
I do.
Yeah,
Seeing
but
as
he's
how I'm-
French. Fancy pants.
Where
Gustav.
are you from originally?
Oh, you know. You don't know where I'm from?
I don't know where you're
We've known
from.
each other for a decade. You know where I'm from?
I can't place it.
That's really, really tough to stomach.
Okay.
Disappointed in you.
Where are you from?
I'm not telling you.
Okay.
I'm not telling you where I'm from. No matter how many times you ask.
Why won't you tell me where you're from?
Baby, you just need to ask one more time.
Where are you from?
My pants.
There it is. He says that he thinks that she should give some more thought to why she responded the way she responded yesterday. She says that she was concerned about a friend. That's it. Nothing else. And she walks away as Gowan watches her walk away. And that, my friends, was When Calls the Heart, Season 10, Episode 9, Deep Water.
We did it.
We did it. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to break this episode down here on Deck the Hallmark. Welcome back. We're talking about When Calls the Heart, Season 10, Episode 9, Deep Water. It's time for the hot take. It is where we share how we felt about this episode. We do not hold back, and I'm going to start with you, Jax. Jax, what'd you think?
So last night around 7:45 p.m., I was like, I'm giddy to watch this show. I'm completely enthralled at this point. I cannot believe that we're watching what we're watching happen right now. I will say, love everything that's going on between May and Hickam. Of course, the little Bumblebee song. I thought, me, Bran, and Dan have to learn that and sing it during the marathon. Can we?
Yeah,
sure.
Of course we can.
Buzz around, buzz around.
Sounds
right?
like you already
You
have.
already got it. You just give us our parts and we'll be there.
Well, I'll sidebar with you guys on that. I did just get a text from Holly, and she said, "Can you agree that Elizabeth and Gowan have major chemistry?" And it popped into my head that the only thing that could be more bonkers at this point would be when they're in the barn if they just embraced each other and just started making out. And I'm like, you know what? I'm here
That
for it. We
would've
do
been
not
amazing.
where this is going. Right? And honestly, like they're both really great actors. He's doing incredible work. I really like him. I mean, why not at this point? Everything just seems to be a fair game.
If not now, when? You know?
Yeah.
If not now, when?
Season 18. When she has to choose between Hickam and Gowan for the second time. There's one woman in this town for all of you men to go after. None of the rest of the women matter.
No.
There's just one.
I have more to say about that in my wait what, but yes, my hot take is that I'm here for this. The governor's here. Mark Brandon is looking good.
Yep.
It's all happening, and I am here for it. What's next? As they say on West Wing, a beloved TV show that I can't wait to review with you guys someday.
I'm with you, Jax. Last night I thought about this show. And I thought about how excited I was. And I haven't been excited about this show
Ever.
Possibly ever. This is the most excited I've been. I loved this episode. I thought that it was everything I could have hoped for. This is what I want. This is what I want. And you want to know what something that happened in this episode that I don't think has happened in 8 seasons? There was a scene where the main cast, what I would consider the main cast of this show, in a room together for like a minute, but Lee, Rosemary, Bill, Nathan, Lucas, Elizabeth.
Yep.
Those 6 are in a room together having a conversation, like planning, like doing town stuff. Yeah, that's it. This is what we want. I don't want anything else. This is what I want. And I'm just telling you it, and I want this on the record. I don't really care one way or the other. I didn't care one way or the other. I don't even know what was I? What team was I?
I think we didn't like how the show went back and forth, and I don't remember. I think we were I went back and forth.
I don't remember what team I was, but I will say this. If she doesn't call this thing off with Lucas, who she's had maybe 4 minutes of screen time with in the past 3 weeks.
Yeah.
This will be the most offensive thing ever on television. No hyperbole. The most offensive thing on television. If nothing happens, if it's just I'm all in. Lucas, you're my guy. That's it. And then just nothing happens. The most offensive thing on television ever. The FCC should be getting calls from Team Nathan going, I just saw a literal murder on TV. And it was the murder of my hopes and dreams. That's what they should be calling. It's more offensive than anything that's ever been on television. But I'm hopeful. I think it's going to happen. I think this season will end with we need to take a pause.
Are you good? I was good.
He left it all on the dance floor.
We've got to split things up here, and we got to talk about the Elizabeth situation last. The rest of this episode, I fundamentally disagree with both of you on. To the core of the fiber of my being. The rest of this episode is utter trash. Guys, the mayor is showing up in 10 hours. We've got to talk about how the water's gone. This is bad television. They're all nicely done. And they're basically, and 4 minutes maybe, Con. You talk about 4 minutes with Lucas. There's basically 4 minutes of this episode that are about Elizabeth and her feelings of Nathan and the way it is shoehorned for someone that they don't have to, guys, they don't have to do this. There were 2 seasons where they pitch a love triangle to you. 24 straight episodes of love triangle, at the end of which she makes a decision. Does she have more chemistry with Nathan? Maybe. Should she marry another Mountie? In my opinion, probably not. That was what I said at the end of it. Now I remember that. That's what I said at the end of it. Then it's not like this is the next season after that. Then they have an entire season where you watch these two and their love grow and blossom, and Lucas being the man of her dreams and being great with baby Jack, and Nathan moving on and Elizabeth moving on completely, no anything. And he proposes and he has baby Jack in on the proposal and she says a resounding yes. And then in this season, 3 seasons removed, 3 seasons removed from the love triangle. 3 seasons removed. The first episode, they have a scene with these two and just banter like we're like episode 4, season 7. For no reason at all. I clocked it. I saw it. It's stupid. And I saw it. And I was like, this is crazy. This is crazy. And now, instead of having Lucas moving to become governor, a fair plot line. Could you have done it 2 years ago? Yeah. Could you have done it last year? Yeah. Could you have done it 3 years ago? Yeah. Could you have done it this year? Yes. And you know what? We're 9 episodes in. At this point, they are betrothed to each other. We are 9 episodes in, and they are still on the side of unrequited love to each other. And you want to know which? Look. You listen. I know. Nathan and Elizabeth have better chemistry. I don't disagree with that. They both have children and they're single parents. Don't disagree with that. There's something there. Don't disagree with that. You want to know which fan base is crazier? Don't act like one fan base is crazier than the other. You want to know which fan base is crazier? Just look at the IMDb user reviews. That's all you have to do. The episode where she chooses Lucas, Team Nathan tanked
use the term
those ratings.
rabid, not crazy. They're not crazy. They're rabid.
Crazier, more rabid.
There you go.
Passionate, more passionate.
Team Nathan tanked the user ratings on that episode. Tanked them. 100% tanked them. You know what's going on this season? User ratings are going up. This is real simple.
But this is also the most exciting this show has been in years.
This is real simple. The makers of this show got ratings when they were in a love triangle, and they gave it to the person that wasn't the more rabid fan base. And so now they're taking the opportunity to recoup those dollars and do it again. And they're not doing it after it just happened. They're doing it years and years and years after it just happened. Guys, what is going on with this show? It is 39 minutes of boring, 4 minutes of unexplainable. It is 39 minutes of no one cares and 4 minutes of I can't believe I'm watching this right now. I can't believe I'm watching this. And I have been calling Nathan and Elizabeth the whole season. That's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying here is that you're doing Lucas wrong. You've not given any sort of reason for these two in their relationship to change. It has been 2 full seasons of this program after 2 seasons of which she hemmed and hawed about which to pick. That's 4. 2 plus 2 is 4. It has been 2 seasons where they clearly are soulmates, and you are just hanging that out to dry in service of a story. You're like a dog chasing a car. It is absolutely absurd that this is happening right now. And yeah, it's probably happening. But the only thing more crazy, because now I'm just assuming they're doing the thing that makes the least amount of sense. That's all I'm assuming. The only thing more crazy now is this is what Elizabeth had to do to finally get past Nathan. And somehow she's going to stay with Lucas for literally no reason whatsoever. This is bad television, but for the 4 minutes that it matters, it was definitely more entertaining than anything else we'd seen in a while. Last week's episode, better episode of TV. The Gowan Redemption, better episode. This is bad TV for the majority of the runtime. But good grief, guys. What are we doing? I've never seen a season 10 as bonkers as this season 10. This makes the Grey's Anatomy ghost sex line seem normal. Seem like a normal run-of-the-mill day at a New York hospital. It's just, I had sex with a ghost today. Whatever, moving on.
Someone grab that clip.
Yeah, please
do something with it.
Yes, Lee's watching. Lee, I see him in the chat.
There it is.
Lee's watching. That's
Get
right.
that immediately.
This is crazy. This is as bad as TV gets.
Well, it's time for all the feels. We're talking about the feels.
Didn't
Jax?
have any. I had no feels.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm feeling things. Lindsay Sturman, I'm now following you on Instagram because, girl, you've intrigued me. Sturman's gonna stir, and I am here for it. I'll be sliding into your DMs soon.
For what reason? Why are you sliding into her DMs?
There needs to be a Hickam love triangle.
There needs to be a Hickam love triangle, and I'm offering myself as tribute.
I would love that so much.
Also, look, they will never do it in Hope Valley, but if anyone should have a lesbian romance, it's Fiona. I also offer as tribute. That would be great.
No, that would be her.
They will not.
They would never.
They would never. I didn't think they'd have anyone who wasn't white on this show, though, and look, it happened. Thank the good Lord. My feels in this episode. I love unpopular opinion for you guys. Everything Rosemary is doing,
dear
I am
God.
so delighted by, you guys. Everything she's doing, she's excited about the governor coming, but she's scared. She's worried. She knows she's overcommitted herself. And then in the end, when all the kids are singing Miss Rosemary, I got not misty, but I was like, this is adorable. I also love Minnie in the scene where Minnie and Fiona, Elizabeth, and Rosemary are talking about all the things that Rosemary has overcommitted. And you can tell Minnie's trying to keep a straight face, but she's just like, this woman is bona fide nuts. And she lets it crack a little. And I was like, I just wish that there was more Minnie in the show. So those were my feels. More, and Gowan, I'm telling you, he is making Elizabeth try and be accountable for her feelings, but she shuts it down pretty fast, which of course she does.
Daddy Gowan,
All right. Okay. All right.
is amazing in this episode on lots of
Yes,
things.
he is.
One, would I watch a regular, like an after school special with Gowan, like teaching kids how to do, stuff like build basketball hoops and stuff? Like, hey, it's like this old house, but with Gowan, and he's like mainly trying to teach kids. I would watch that. I love that. Him, when it cut and it was him and like 4 other kids, and he's like, we got the stage, don't worry. I love that. It made me laugh so hard. It was fantastic. But yeah, him just being like, seeing what was going on there. Part of me wanted him to just be jealous and come out with his feelings, and I'm still keeping hope alive there. But yeah, Gowan never ceases to not work for me. He's just the best. Gosh, I love him. And also Nathan wearing that outfit that you forgot existed.
I'm sorry, man. I think
Sheesh.
you're taking a lot of offense to this, and I typically can clock an outfit with you. I just didn't. I missed it. Can you accept my apology? Like, I'm sorry.
I want you to make it the background of your phone for a week.
No.
Okay. Well, then no, I won't
The
forget.
background of my phone is the stock
Dan,
background
honestly.
from when I got the phone. So I want to be very clear.
Well, just change it.
no. That seems like too
Dan,
much
I
work.
am surprised that you didn't clock it, only because I don't think I was clocking it in the same hubba way that Bran was.
Interesting.
But I was just like, oh, we see.
See-
I was like, we see what you're doing. We see what you're doing, and this is almost offensive. This is like, he might as well have been shirtless the way it was happening.
100%.
But she didn't
If he
clock
was-
it the hubba way you did. So that makes me feel better, like I didn't miss an obvious.
But he's doing the fatherly equivalent of chopping wood. He's playing with
Yes.
children with the tight white shirt and the suspenders. You might as well be chopping wood in a Christmas sweater.
Mm-hmm. Preach.
Thank you. I will. And I did. Dan?
I don't have any feels that weren't given in my hot take, which, was plenty to go around. Aside from, I mean this in all sincerity, I can't believe after 4 seasons, 48 episodes, this is where we are. We are literally the feeling good promo with her in the middle of them and those two on the side. That was 4 seasons ago, guys. Guys, my kids were babies. What are we doing? What are we doing? Game of Thrones moves faster, and he hasn't written the book yet. Literally, this is one of the dumbest "who do you think you are, I am" situations. Yeah. You have 4 seasons to do this. I'm pretty sure Bones got together with Booth quicker than that. This is absurd, guys. It's embarrassing.
Gosh, that was a good show.
It was early on. It got a little. When Bones and Booth never got and Booth never got together, and then finally when they did, it was like, oh, why did they do that? Yeah,
like moonlighting.
Yeah. Good call.
Great call. Let's take a quick break, and I'll Google that, and then we'll be back
Bartlett
here
for
on
Hope
Deck the
Valley.
Homer. Welcome back to this podcast program that you can watch visually on Philo. Hopefully you're doing that. I think we're having a lot of fun, and you get to see us move. And also,
were you doing karate chops?
Yes. Yeah, we're
get to see us move.
Yes. Everybody, let's take a stand break, and we'll all just do some exercises and whatnot. Let's get to the Wait What, is where we talk about what in this episode made us go, wait, what? Jax?
So, Dan was alluding to this earlier. acting like Elizabeth is the only woman in town. She obviously is a beautiful, interesting, charismatic person, but we have Fiona.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing I can think is not to put too fine a point on this, because I know I'm not going to get a lesbian Fiona, but it's like, why aren't we getting vibes from her at all? Unless she's just not interested in men, which, hey, great. But it's like, no one sees how beautiful and entrepreneurial and independent and funny and interesting and kind she is. Like, what is happening in this town? I don't.
If
Can you do a couple more describers of her?
God.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Smart, beautiful, talented, entrepreneurial, fashionable,
Independent and kind,
if
fashionable.
Elizabeth, Nathan, and Lucas all died in a coal mining accident, God forbid, they're in there. Just I don't know why, but they're in there.
You don't even believe mine accidents happen.
And Fiona
Why'd you bring this
became.
up?
That's right. I have denied them for years. That's where I proposed to my wife, as Jack well knows. If Fiona became the lead of this show, it would not bother me one bit. I would be down for that program more than I'm down for this program.
She's a star.
There's no question about it. I would take a way better show if that's the case. If we just get rid of all three of the characters that we've been talking about most of the time, and I like we've had all three of those characters and their actors on Deck the Hallmark, and they're all wonderful people. They're doing a great job. The way they've been written makes them caricatures, and that's unfortunate. I don't really have any use for them anymore. Whereas Fiona, you're right. There's a lot there. There's a lot there, and I would like to see more.
It is odd that she's like the one character that has never really had a love interest,
and she's
right?
smarter than anyone in town. She does more for more people with the jobs that she has and the inventions and her technological wizardry. And she's attractive. I don't get it. I don't understand what we're.
Well, you know what? Maybe you just hit the nail on the head there.
Too much.
Men are intimidated by her.
Yeah, there's an intimidation factor there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see how Lucas and Nathan would both be intimidated by her. Got him. Sorry.
And my other wait what was that we're still, Rosemary saying this thing to Elizabeth, like, oh, what happened with Nathan and May and Faith? And it's like, are we still pretending that he dated these people? I just don't
ridiculous.
know what is going on here. So yeah, we'll see. Sturman, what's going to happen with Fiona? Something better happen with Fiona.
I got a couple. One doesn't like back. When is this? 1920?
Yeah, 1920.
Something.
Yeah.
Doesn't mail take a while still, like to travel?
Yes.
6 weeks until your wedding seems to be cutting it close with sending invitations outside of town.
They should have
correct?
sent the invitations already.
Should have been sent out a while ago. We're 6 weeks and we're just now sending invitations via the mail.
And that was a line they threw in. They could have just not mentioned it.
They could have said anything, really.
Tasting 6 weeks out, fine.
Fine.
Invitations, no.
The invitations, I was like, what? No way. Nathan's adorable over there swatting people to put down their guns at the sequence where they're all got he's like, hey, get them down.
Get
the guns down. Put your guns down. You guys remember last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever, when the Reverend said he was not going to work with Lee anymore?
I sure do.
He's back.
Yeah.
He was working with Lee.
again.
And I know it was
Joseph's
because
back.
the governor is coming to town and all hands on deck, but he's back. He's like giving thought to the lumber situation. It's hard to keep that storyline straight.
Yeah.
Because you only need the Reverends so many times a week.
That's right. Sundays typically.
Last but not least, I don't really know how telegrams work. But I know they don't work like this.
Well, that's exactly
this
right.
telegram system is all-knowing. I don't know who's sending the constant updates about Nathan in the woods to the telegram. There's a thing. Here's a thing. Here's a stuff. But they are getting constant updates about a situation in the woods.
And I think this is my problem with how they found the most hackneyed way to show Elizabeth still has feelings for Nathan. It was maybe the worst thing I've seen on the show. There's only one telegram, and it says there's a hostage situation in the woods, requesting for Mountie backup. That's it. And then there are some people that say they overheard gunshots in the woods. Elizabeth reads the telegram and hears about the gunshots, and then Nathan is immediately back in town 30 seconds after she shows emotion. It is, may I call it television at its worst. It is so contrived.
There wasn't a telegram about the gunshots?
No, that was, what's her name? Florence. Or somebody, one of them who were just like.
Yeah, Florence and Molly were talking about it.
They just heard it in the
It was a mess. It was a mess. I don't know how they got the first one out, though. I don't know who sent the first one, though.
Yeah.
There's not a telegraph in the woods. You would think there would be, though, because they're using the same cabin they've used in every season of Wind Calls the Heart ever. Pick a different cabin.
It's a good cabin.
So many people have been in that cabin holding a hostage or having a gun. So many people. It is not owned by the Pinkertons. It's not owned by Union City. It's owned by Brad Cravoy. That's who it's owned by. It's not, guys, come on. Pick a different cabin. Do us all a favor, pick a different cabin. Hey, the guy who was a tourist and then left and came back.
Yeah.
Were we supposed to believe he worked for the governor he works for the governor. Did you know that?
I mean, they tell us this episode.
This episode. But are we to believe that he worked for the governor the whole time and just happened to be on vacay?
Yeah, I think that is
Earlier, and then
what was pitched to us.
And then he came back as a worker? Is that accurate?
Correct.
I feel like the actor that was supposed to play this role just tested positive for COVID. They're like, bring back that other guy. He was serviceable.
Yeah.
It was fine.
When you see that the water is drained out of the springs and there's some at the bottom, you find out that water was way deeper than you initially thought. People are sitting, gang, in the hot spring. Children are sitting with head and shoulders above water. That water's like 8 feet deep. Like, it's way down there. There's no way they could sit there. There's no way they could do that if the water was all the way up. What are they? Are they standing? Are they standing for a relaxing time in the hot springs?
Maybe.
I don't know. Someone does correct Nathan, but I do need to tell you that I laughed out loud when they're all meeting, everyone but Gowan. So it's Lee, Rosemary, Bill, Lucas, Nathan, and Elizabeth, as you said, in a scene you really appreciated for some
I loved it.
And they're talking about the map and what Union City is doing. And Rosemary says, I don't think those are trestle bridges. And then literally
It's me, Dave Trestle. First you hear, then you're there. It's me, Dave Trestle. Look over there.
Dave, I think you've slowed down the cadence a little bit.
No.
It's me, Dave Trestle.
I'm going as fast as I can today.
Okay.
I am on the drugs.
You're on the drugs.
Yes.
At least you're talking and not singing. That's a
it's me, Dave Trestle. Is that good?
Yeah, that's better.
Better?
That's better. Good.
Better?
Anything else, Dave?
Nope.
Or okay.
Gotta go.
Well, I'm going to have to say the word again, so just try your best. But Rosemary says the line, I don't think those are trestle
It's me,
bridges.
Dave Trestle.
Yep. And literally 5 seconds later, Nathan goes, I don't think those are trestle bridges. Now, someone right after that goes, yeah, Rosemary just said that. But Nathan literally is 2 feet away from her and she says it. I don't think those are trestle bridges. Beat. And then Nathan immediately goes, it's hit me. An idea just flew into my funnel. Those aren't trestle bridges.
I mean, I actually think this is very realistic.
Yes.
This is like every woman in a meeting.
That's right. It's like, what if we did this thing that's a great idea? And then dudes 45 minutes later, like, you know what I just thought of? Completely unprompted by anyone in the room. The role of just Ox from Saved by the Bell, played by Team Nathan, or by Nathan today, Nathan Grant. That's a wild scene. That's a wild scene where she says it and he literally says it 10 seconds later like it's a new idea. I couldn't believe that.
It is a fun word.
And it is. You're right, Dave Trestle. It is. You're right. Even our producer's having a hard time knowing what camera to go to these days. And that's fine. Dave kind of pops in out of nowhere.
It's me, Dave
It's
Trestle.
Dave Trestle. That's right. And lastly, speaking of telegrams working and how they work, the governor's trip to Hope Valley would have 100% been announced more than 24 hours in advance, especially if all that stuff was promised. If someone promised a black tie dinner, the governor's not going to be like, I'll be there in 12 hours. You're on the clock. That doesn't happen. Not in real life, Not here, not there, not anywhere. It doesn't happen. If you send him word that you'll do all this stuff if he comes to town, the governor in 1920 is going to give you time to get all that ready. If he says I'm showing up in 10 hours, the governor's not expecting all of that. This entire plot line it was infuriating. It was just nobody cared because what was going on with Elizabeth. That's all I got.
Accurate. It's time for Hopes and Valleys. This is where we talk about the things that are giving us hope for the future and or bumming us out. Jax?
Bumming me out. Guys, I have no use for Pinkertons. I don't want to see any more Pinkertons. I literally go to Snooze Town every time there's a Pinkerton. I'm not into it. I don't like the word. I don't like anything about it.
Makes me think of Plankton from SpongeBob.
I don't know what SpongeBob. I don't know who SpongeBob. I don't know. I've never seen it.
You don't know.
I know who SpongeBob.
I don't know what. I don't know who.
You're right. I just
You
have
don't know
never seen an
Plankton.
episode. Yeah,
I haven't. Wait, you actually?
I've never
Dan?
seen an episode.
Oh, me either. This is something that Brand's watched that none of us have watched. That's cool, Brand.
That's cool, buddy.
So
You're
yes,
so
please
cool.
defund the Pinkertons.
Defund the
And
Pinkertons.
we got to get T-shirts like that, just
love
like
it.
our West Wing
Oh, yeah.
T-shirts. We should do that. And then I would say what's giving me hope, guys. Yeah, I am just much like Bran. It's like I'm thinking about this show in my free time. I'm getting excited and I'm really excited for next week. I'll probably actually watch it in real time and I just can't wait. And what's going to happen? Like what is going to happen?
Is it an 8 o'clock or a 9 o'clock?
It's a 9 o'clock.
9.
What if? Is there a way that for the finale we could all live stream it, like just us watching?
Yes.
it?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, it's a thought. A thought that counts.
We have to.
We have to, Bran.
We have to. We'll be screaming. It's going to be
And
amazing.
we'll do like updates during the commercials. We can tell everybody to pop over.
Yes.
Tell everybody to pop over. What do
Like
you mean?
we're watching off screen, you can watch us watch it, but during the commercials, we can all talk about it.
I see.
Pop over to the YouTubes.
Pop over.
Pop
I'm
over.
announcing it right now.
It's a pop over.
It's a pop over.
A lot of people know pop-up
Brand
videos.
looked like he was nervous
Brand
about
doesn't
this
want to do it
idea.
because
Like
it's
I
late
picked
at
him to
night.
be all
It's
in.
late at night on a
I have
Sunday.
to put my clothes back on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Brand gets
wondering why
naked
he
at
wasn't all in.
7:45.
Yeah.
He doesn't. There's nothing he can do.
The kids go to sleep and my clothes pop off.
That's right. That's also
Nothing weird. I'm just trying to get comfortable. I'm just
We'll get Brand to put some clothes on and join us. Jack.
cannot promise.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Catch a
happening.
rope
It's
or
happening.
something at least.
Listeners, hold us
Happening.
to it.
I'll hold this to it. It is the Sunday before marathon.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Be fine.
Got nothing going on that week.
We
Nothing
ready?
on. Are you gonna? Oh, well, you're gonna be. We gotta get her in town.
You want to get her in for a whole week?
Yes.
If someone will pay for Jax's lodging for a week, I'll fly her down
this
here.
is
a week
easy.
early.
Get her down here on Sunday. We'll watch it together. We'll record immediately after.
That's a great idea, but Jax has to have it free in her calendar, and we have to figure out how to
Jax
afford
doesn't got
her
anything
lodging
going
for a
on.
week. We have to afford lodging for a week, Bran.
You know what we could do though? We could actually just record it immediately after.
That's what I'm saying, Jax.
No, but she.
No, I
we
mean,
don't-
not in
in person. We do it.
But
then.
if you're already coming, you might as well be here.
for a week.
You know what I mean?
No, I was all in on that until I realized that it was it would be like 9 days.
No,
Not that I don't
why would
want
it be
to.
9 days? It's Sunday. Marathon's on Friday.
it's 5 days.
But then I get back on the next Sunday.
It's a long time.
We'll sidebar on this because obviously I want to watch this with you guys.
Yeah, it would be a lot of fun.
Be a lot of fun.
My hope is that would happen. What we just talked about, and I'm not even going to say that it's a valley that it's not going to happen because I'm not going to put that into the universe. I think it's going to happen, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
My hope is built on nothing less than Jesus' blood and righteousness.
Amen.
Amen. My valley
That
is
was good.
just this. It's season 11.
Oh, it's not season 11.
We got
Season
one.
10.
It's happening. So here we go. Yeah, dude, I would be if
Come
I knew,
on, man.
If I knew this was the end, then I could join in your excitement. If I knew this was the end, then I would be willing to join in your excitement.
But serious question for you, Dan. For the amount of fun
We're having a lot of
that
fun.
you're
We're having
having
a lot of fun.
recording with
ton
us,
of fun.
does it outweigh how painful
yes,
it is?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
This is better than what was happening in season 9 and season 7, for sure.
And season 2.
Oh, God. Oh,
Yeah.
miles better than 2, 7, and 9. Yeah, absolutely.
We did, everybody. Congratulations. Do we have a What's Calling My Heart email this week, Dano?
We certainly do. It's from Terry Carp. Terry Carp says, hi, Bran, Dan, and Jax. Is there something funny about that? Do you think I made the name up? Do you think I made up the name Terry Carp? Like it's the driver of the week.
Here's the thing, if I can be transparent. Tomorrow's episode of Fast Fridays we've already recorded, and the driver of the week is a very similar name.
Tammy Jenks.
Tammy Jenks. And so it just made me think about Tammy Jenks, and here I am. Another name you did not make up. We do talk to Tammy Jenks. It's just tickled my... I just thought about Tammy.
This is a real person named Teresa Carp. She goes by Terry Carp.
This is great. I love that.
It's sent on March 31st, 2020.
Fantastic.
Hi, Bran, Dan, and Jax. First, let me say how much I enjoy Jax on your shows. I wasn't a fan of her previous podcast, but I love her on yours.
That seemed unnecessary.
Not a bit. In this essay,
So Terry, me either.
I'll explain my 3 big grievances with the bubbly sesh.
Oh, wow.
Number 1, I'm just kidding. No, that part I was just kidding.
You know what's so sick? I got excited.
Oh, man. And you gave an honest opinion there, something you couldn't have done on the bubbly sesh.
No.
All right. What's calling my heart is how your podcast with Patrick Serrano have helped me bond with my son, who's a senior in college over 5 hours away. Last summer, I was listening to a Lifetime Uncorked episode in the car, and my son could not stop laughing. When he came home for winter break, he asked if I had any unplayed episodes we could listen to. When he went back to school, I decided to save all the Patrick episodes until he came home for spring break. He was very excited to laugh along with Dan, Bran, and Patrick at the craziness of these shows. He graduates in April, and I will save any new episodes until he is home. My son and I also enjoy listening to Yo Gavel Gavel and History or His Story when they were in the regular feed. He asked me why I wasn't a Bramble Jam Plus or Double Decker, and I kindly explained that I was paying for 2 children to go to college, and funds to pay for extras were not available right now. Maybe one day I'll join just because you bring so much joy to my life. Good God, just get her a subscription. Guys, I don't know, just email me. Terry, email me. Dan, not hello. Email me and we'll figure that out. Thank you for so many hours of laughter and giving me something to share with my son. I will treasure these hours with him for as long as I can. And because one day he may get a job and move away. Keep up the great work, Terry Carp. Are you kidding me now?
Thank you. That was so sweet.
Terry is sweet, and she loves every show that Jax is not on.
Hey, fair enough. At least she has good taste.
We're going to be back tomorrow with another one. Tammy Jenks is going to be joining us, so look forward to that. Until then, we're the first to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. What? For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.